Hello and good evening to you all. Here we are yet again, Saturday evening, and my hair is looking a little bit all over the place. Anyway, just been watching the wonderful Cher, somebody who I am very lucky to have spent a bit of time with, an absolutely delightful lady, and she seems to be very busy promoting things in London. Well done to Cher. And good evening to you all. Hello to Gin Bottle. That's a great name. Gin Bottle Pam. That's a new one. I think we haven't come across you before, Gin Bottle Pam, but I like your name. Pip Field, Pennine Counties. Harriet, the lovely Harriet, and the lovely Leslie, and Aidan, and Nicole, and Bambi, and Karen, and Doc Martens, Pit Busted, Daniel Hoey. I don't know. I think you may be a new one. Angie Lawrence, Joe McIntyre, Gage Allen, Susie Ashington, Paulie, Heidi, and so she is the same. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Socio Mario, I guess, is your name. Thracian Grapes and Jane O'Keefe. And thank you very much last night to my school teacher, Mr. Gorse, for participating. He did very well. He joined in with our quiz. So we thank Mr. Gorse for his participation. And we hope Mr. Gorse will be coming back to join in on another occasion. I don't know where he is tonight, but he told me this morning he was off to buy a watering can for his indoor garden. Now, I have no idea what the difference is between a watering can for an indoor garden or an outdoor garden, but my former French teacher at school, who I didn't pay much attention to when I was at school, I will admit, I wasn't very good at French lessons, and I probably should have learned given the amount of time I've spent in Saint-Tropez this year. It would have been rather useful to be able to speak a bit of the local lingo, but there we go. I do think that I probably should have paid more attention to Mr. Gorse when I was at school. So if you have children, please encourage them to pay attention to their language classes. At my school, we were forced to do rather too many languages, and that's what put me off, and Latin and all the rest of it that we were forced into doing, and Spanish and this and that and the other, on top of English. Too much. Don't force too much on children. It's too much because, frankly, they rebel against it, and I definitely rebelled. But Mr. Gorse was a delightful teacher and a lovely gentleman, and it's lovely that he is a participant in this community now. You know, I left school in 1999. So it's a long time ago. It's 24 years ago. So that was when, John Major had been in government. So times move along. Harriet says Mr. Gorse enjoyed something from the watering can. Well, Mr. Gorse, I think Harriet enjoyed participating, and he's a lovely person. And I do hope that we can include as many people as we can include here, and they can say whatever they wish. We do realize that there are people who shouldn't be here, and Harriet is doing a very good job of monitoring people overall. So thank you to you, Harriet, for your kind monitoring. But Mr. Gorse is definitely somebody who, would have put me in detention at school, so we better not tell him off again. There we go. He's not banned, he's funny. Well, there we go. So Harriet and Mr. Gorse are on the same page. Cheers to them, and cheers to happiness. Cheers to you all. So, yes, today I have mainly been visiting the Magnet, the local hostelry, and tomorrow I will be going to the local community party. Sadly, my guests could not make it because they're a little bit unreliable. I will be having a different guest arriving on Monday, allegedly, but guests are like that. This is what guests tend to do. So the other guests claim to be coming next weekend because they had a major problem, but that is how people are. Blair attained being Prime Minister in 1997. Yes, well, that's an obvious thing, but there we go. I don't know what relevance that has to the matter, but yes, I left school in 1999, but Mr. Gorse and I remember discussing John Major's prime ministership on the last day he was prime minister in 1997, given that I took a day off school to go campaigning for John Major. Didn't work out very well, really, did it? No. So I was very involved in politics back in that era, supporting the Conservative Party, but I could not support the Conservative Party of today. That is a different matter. Mr. Gorse, at the time, if I recall, did support the Labour Party. I'm not sure. He may have to speak for himself in this regard, but there we go. What am I doing on Christmas Day? I don't know yet. We will see. Bambi claims I'm helping charities. Well, if there's an opportunity, I may try, but I don't know what I'll be doing on Christmas Day at this stage. I have not made a plan, but I do think it's better to spend the time helping homeless people or whatever else you can do if you don't have anything else to do. But it depends where in the world I end up, because in the next few days, various things are due to happen. So there we go. Right. So anyway, here we are, and we're going to have a different quiz today because somebody else sent me a book. I wish the people that send me things would put their names in these things, because in this package, which came from a bookshop, it did not contain a name. So I thank you, whoever you may be, for your kind gift of a book. I'm not going to show the book because that way the people who cheat at this quiz will be able to cheat. You will not be knowing what book you're getting today, but it's a totally different book. So I'm going to throw a bit of confusion into the orbit. And I think maybe this may be the way forward, so we can have a bit of confusion in the midst. It will do nobody any harm to have a little bit of confusion. So that. But thank you to whoever you are who sent me a book. It arrived today. You didn't put your name in it. You didn't put your name on anything that went with it. It came from a bookshop directly, a second-hand bookshop. I've no idea who you are, but anyway, very, very kind of you. Anyway, Heidi Crimmins will be working in a hospital on Christmas Day. That is a very generous thing to be doing, Heidi. Nicole says, come to my house for Christmas. Edinburgh is beautiful at Christmas. Well, that would be very pleasant. I've been invited to lots of places, but I tend to avoid Christmas. I'm not really into Christmas, but we will see what happens. So, but thank you very much, Nicole, for your kind offer. That's very generous. Susie Ashington is going to send me a Christmas card. That's very kind of you, Susie. And if anyone wishes to send anything to the Magnet in Albion Street, Broadstairs, it is very much appreciated. The staff think that this is somehow epic that I get sent all these wonderful things, and especially when I get sent gin. And gin is always welcome. You can never have enough gin. So if you wish to send gin, please do. Please begin. Be gin. Yes, that's how we really do like it. We were going to play Scrabble Harriet, yes, tonight with my friends, but unfortunately they're not here. So there will be no Scrabble game tonight. But most of my guests, when they come to visit, they don't like playing Scrabble with me because they always tend to lose, they claim. I do give everyone a fair chance, but one has to think of clever words and one has to use the maximum points possible. So I love a game of Scrabble, so if anyone wants to come challenge me at that, lovely. Gin and Finn on the elf on the shelf. I don't know what the elf on the shelf is, but there we go. Bar humbug, says Susie Ashenden. Well, please send gin, Susie Ashenden. That's what I like at Christmas. I like gin all year round. I don't differentiate Christmas to any other day of the year. I think one should always be jolly on every day of the year, whoever you are. So enjoy life, and as you do, Susie Ashenden, you love Cluedo. Well, I haven't played that game in years, but if you enjoy that, that's a wonderful game, I'm sure. Right. Scrabble challenges and all of the rest of it. Epstein Cluedo is a game someone invented, says Paulie. I don't know about that. Never heard of that one. Right. I'm not in the winter sitting room. No, I'm in the summer sitting area, in my kitchen area. A lovely sweater this evening. I love the colour, you say. Right. Well, you like the Bernard Weatherall cashmere number, so don't forget, Bernard Weatherall is a lovely shop. It is very unpredictable what it sells on its website. I never fathomed quite how it works. I have many items from there, but I am not sponsored by them, and I have no affiliation with them. I only wish I did, given the amount of publicity I have given to them. They probably cannot stand me. They probably think I'm a complete pest, but I do like Bernard Weatherall. There we go. Anyway, formerly ITBC says, no, it's the kitchen living room. Yes, it is. It's the kitchen living room area we're in, and here we are, and cheers to all of you. And to the lady from yesterday who complained and said I should do the program without alcohol, no thank you, bog off. I shall do whatever I wish. And I have my nice little statue here next to me, bought at the recent exhibition, The Newspaper Man, which is a wonderful little statue. And it's delightful to have that here also. So there we go. That's what's sitting here next to me in the summer sitting room area, as it has been classified by some of you. Anyway, here we go. So there we go. Heidi loves The Newspaper Man. Well, if you would like to buy one, you can buy one, and I will provide a link. So please send me an email, and I will put you in touch with the lady that makes the sculpture, because she does have others in her mold, I'm sure. And I'm sure you'll be able to buy one for a reasonable sum. It's not an expensive item. There we go. Wills says, I do alcohol with every Matthew show. It helps. So I drive you to drink, Wills, whoever you are. I've driven Wills to beverages. So dear. So I've made Wills want to turn to drink. Now, Alcoholics Anonymous would not thank me for that, would they? But never mind. Right. Gage Allen, Matthew is the best. Thank you. Chili Kareen says it wouldn't be the same without your tipples. Good vibe. I say cheers to you and cheers to me, and cheers to me. We most definitely won't disagree on this one. Montecute says thought they could only be bought in the US. Any US treats he likes that I could send? I know no chocolate. Montecute, please send an American gin. That would be more appealing. Anything can be sent from anywhere, quite frankly, but ever we wish. But you don't need to send anything at all. But if you do wish to, you'd be very welcome to send gin. Right. Anyway, moving along, we shall talk of our first topic of the evening here. So let me find the window concerned. Where shall I begin? Amanda Platell. Now, Amanda Platell is a truly vomit-inducing piece of rubbish. Amanda Platell is someone I encountered many years ago when she worked for William Hague. She was involved in his communications. Now she's a writer for the Daily Mail. Bambi Debonair says she's a VIP vomit-inducing person. I would tend to agree. Now, Amanda Platell, let's give her some context, is a very nasty woman. In June this year, I wrote of Amanda Platell. Acid-tongued Aussie harpy Amanda Platell once described Twitter trolls as evil, in spite of herself repeatedly referencing her thankfully now croaked paedophile chum Rolf Harris as a dear friend and a kind and generous man. Beyond evil, Harris's victims, amongst them children as young as just 7 years old at the time he raped and abused them, most certainly would not agree with that. But as is typical for pugnacious Platell, this warbling whack job had to weigh in on the matter of the sordid Phillip Schofield scandal. A scandal that involves a boy, the now disgraced 63-year-old Telebrex twerp, met when he was somewhere in the range of just 10 to 15 years old. Well, Miss Platell, or Ms. Platell, or whatever she chooses to call herself, the low-life scumbag for the Daily Mail, wrote that Platell's People, her weekly Saturday column, God knows what this dreadful harpy is paid for this. She said, did we really need such a witch hunt against this morning presenter, Phillip Schofield? She goes on and on and on and on and on and Ariston about Phillip and the dreaded Holly Willoughby. This week, the probe against Phillip Schofield, she says, was slammed as a whitewash and utterly implausible. And yet I can't help thinking, how did it ever come to this, she says. Can't we please get a little perspective? This ridiculous woman should put a sock in it. She continues, a TV sofa bloke lies about his sexuality. So she admits he is a liar, and a disgrace, a liar. Has an affair with a younger colleague. Nothing illegal takes place and the whole world's up in arms. If this had been some left-wing person that she didn't like, she would have been up in arms. This right-wing columnist is a hypocrite. She's a total hypocrite. She continues, yes, he behaved badly, but he's paid the price. No one died, no one broke the law, and I rather admired his unnamed lover for not taking part in this circus. I wish him well and praise him for his dignity. This is the very same woman that wished Rolf Harris well. This is a woman who previously spoke of Rolf Harris in favourable terms. This is a woman who said, why I pray my dear friend Rolf is innocent. On the 19th of April 2013, she said, I know Rolf as a kind and generous man. also know from past experience that at times like this, you stand by your friends. That's why I pray not only that he is proven innocent, but he also can survive what is to come. I fervently hope in due course Rolf will be able to put these dark days behind him. I say shame on you, Amanda Platell, for coming out yet again, going on and sticking your oar in about matters you know nothing about, where clearly you get on the wrong side of bloody history. You are the worst of the worst. You are the weakest link. You are someone who is clearly born in the village barn. As my good friend, the lovely Anne Robinson, would say, is there a village that needs its idiot back? That's you. I urge you, eject the idiot, would be a suitable response to you. Who's on the road to nowhere? That's you. I'd say who's on the road to hell? Who is allergic to intelligence? I could go on. Anyway, this woman, Platell, she's certainly no lady, continues. Personally, I can't see why it is ever actually merited an investigation by a King's Council. What worries me most is this kind of thing sets a terrifying precedent for the increasingly litigious working environment we all now live in, where anonymous employees can cast any allegations, false or otherwise, against named colleagues instead of settling legitimate grievances by taking them to their HR bosses. Schofield's complicated personal life has already taken a heavy toll on him. Ooh, the violins do play. Ooh, a bit of that. It is not necessary for a KC-led investigation to cast judgment on him as well. Can't we, in all decency, just move on from the this morning inquiry and learn the lesson that if a person behaves unwisely and holds their hands up, he or she should not be condemned? Well, I don't think Phillip Schofield quite did that, dear, you dreary moron. Can't we just let the millions of us who love this morning? Is she on crack? Is she on acid? Is she on cocaine? Is she on heroin? The woman's a nutcase. Go on and enjoy watching it again. I don't think anyone enjoys watching This Morning, boring, deranged woman, unsullied by this daytime TV blood sport. Now, I think that Amanda Platell has lost the plot. She never had it in the first place. She was a sandwich short of a picnic many, many years ago. She is worse than the village idiot. She was born in a barn. She should be on the Bibby Stockholm. Amanda Platell should be up there with the captain. Lock her up with the captain of the vessel as we send it out to sea. Amanda Platell is a true horror, an absolute obnoxious piece of scumbag, revolting apologist for people like Rolf Harris and Phillip Schofield. Now, Schofield is an appalling, vile, nasty man. I have personally encountered the creep. And as for Amanda Platell, she is mentally unhinged. Send her back to Australia if we don't put her on the Bibby Stockholm. Send her to Rwanda. You know, her Conservative Party that she was so enthusiastic about. They want to send people to Rwanda. Why don't we try out her first? Let's send Amanda Platell away. Put Amanda out there first. Let's get rid of Amanda Platell from this nation. She is a mental case. She is crazy. She is cuckoo and deranged. So Elaine Harvey says, well said. There we go. Harriet says, Platell has a hole in her bucket. Well, that's a very Australian reference. There we go. Gage loves the straight talking. Amanda to Rwanda, says Nicole. Let's send her on her merry way. We don't need her. She can hang out with Fergie, and she can't take Rolf with her anymore because he's thankfully brown bread. Good riddance to Rolf Harris, evil monster paedophile, who she referred to as her dear friend. If you count Rolf Harris as your dear friend, you are definitely away with the fairies. Definitely Amanda Platell, mental case, complete nutcase. Lock her up on the Bibby Stockholm, throw away the key, send it out to sea. Goodbye, Amanda Platell. So I have to say, Amanda Platell is somebody who I truly don't like. She also came out in support of the naughty Tory Charlie Elphicke after he was convicted of being, he was a convicted sex offender and groper, the former MP for Dover, whose wife Natalie subsequently became the MP. She's another disgrace, but that's another matter. She said, I cannot help wondering whether had Elphicke had not been a high-profile Tory MP, he would not have been treated so harshly. My worry is that this disproportionate punishment feeds into the notion that all women are victims who live in constant fear of sexual assault and all men are villains. We are not, and they are not. And a woman such as Natalie Elphicke, who stands up against such blatant injustice, should be applauded, not pilloried. Charlie Elphicke was sent to prison for his sexual offences against women, and his wife was thrown out of Parliament for a period because of her support of him and using other MPs to do this. Shame on, again, the dreadful Amanda Platell for supporting a sex offender and an MP who is an apologist for sex offenders. Charlie and Natalie Elphicke, two disgusting people, two pieces of toe rag. She is an absolutely appalling woman. There is nothing redeeming about this woman who is a friend or was a friend of Rolf Harris. I think that Natalie Elphicke should be sent on the Bibby Stockholm. There we go. Montecute says, shame on Piers Morgan, friends with Madam Maxwell. No, he just got photographed with her on an occasion at a party, and I don't hold that against him. He has not written articles supporting her, unlike Rachel Johnson, who said we should feel a bat squeak of pity for her. Piers Morgan has not done that, so I don't condemn him in the same way that I would condemn Rachel Johnson for that particular outbreak of nonsense. Richard Madeley also wrote articles for the Daily Express supporting Ghislaine Maxwell. He deserves to be condemned, but he also is a complete piece of toe rag, accused of shoplifting. Never got quite dealt with that matter, but he even confronted Bill Clinton and tried to make out that he was treated wrongly and Bill Clinton was treated rightly over a false accusation. That's how he tried to turn that story around. Now, don't like him. So there we go. Doc Martin says, I love Piers Morgan. Well, there you go. There's a counterpoint. A Nana Mouse, a new person to our channel. I've never heard of A Nana Mouse, but it's a name I won't forget. Hello, A Nana Mouse. Rachel Johnson is hardly a good judge of character. Well, we definitely know that from her ghastly, appalling LBC radio show. Right. So, anyway, I think we are done with the malicious poison pen Amanda Platell. It is jolly well time Lord Rothermere put her sock in her and told her to shut up. Why doesn't Lord Rothermere fire her? But no, Lord Rothermere keeps people like her because this pest is a complete nuisance. And the outrageous things she comes out with clearly do appeal to the audience. So there you are. It does seem to work for what it is. So there we go. I'm going to close the comments on that one and send her on her merry way. Well, my next topic is the secret meetings of what they call the pasta plotters. We won't go into this in detail. There is a scheme allegedly cooking up at an Italian restaurant called Giovanni now, and it's not my Giovanni in the lovely Knightsbridge. It's a Giovanni I've never heard of in Covent Garden. Giovanni's of Covent Garden, supposedly run by a Sicilian aristocrat called Count Pino Aragono, or Ragona. And his customers have included, you couldn't make it up, Frank Sinatra, well, nothing wrong with that, and Liz Truss. Well, there's a lot wrong with that. So Giovanni's of Covent Garden is supposedly the scene of decadent dining on the behalf of conservative plotters who plan to get rid of Rishi Sunak. Now, Harriet Blanca says the Covent Garden one is an overrated dump. Well, it's no wonder the Conservative Party is having secret meetings there. The one in Knightsbridge is an absolute delight, run by the wonderful Adriano and a favourite of many wonderful people. Now, Gage Allen says, when you got your Christmas tree up, I've not lots of pressure, none of us need. Stick Christmas on the Bibby Stockholm. Well, Gage, I do think people should enjoy Christmas if they so wish to. I would rather have a bottle of gin. Let gin begin rather than Christmas begin. For me, I don't feel the need to do this. I will be attending a gathering tomorrow where I will not be wearing a Christmas jumper, and I will not be putting tinsel around my head or whatever else that the people there want me to do. I will take a gift, as I've been requested to take a gift for somebody. But no, Christmas is something that people should either choose to celebrate if they wish, or if they don't, they don't have to join in with. And at this time in life, when people are struggling, I don't think anything should be forced upon anyone. Gin wins every time, as Gage Allen says. Gin is the winner. So if people wish to send me gin, I will say happy gin day to you and happy Christmas and all the rest of it. But no, I'm not really into Christmas decorations, Christmas trees. When you live by yourself, you don't need to have all this appendage. There's no need for it, because what's the point? I'm happy in my own way of doing things. So I don't need to be told what to do in my life. It's very, very kind of people to try and encourage me to join in with things, but I don't have to do that. I will do whatever I wish, and I hope you will all do whatever you wish. That is a better way to live life. Enjoy your life the way you wish to live your life. Christmas is not for me. It doesn't have good memories. It never did. I've always found I didn't like such a thing, so I don't want to be going there. But I will go to this luncheon tomorrow, and I will join in because I was invited, and it will be lovely, I'm sure. But I'm going to go and talk to the people who I like. That's what I shall do. But no, I will not be forced into eating mince pies. I think they taste disgusting. I can't stand Eccles cakes. I think they're revolting. I call them fly pies. Mince pies are an elevated version of fly pies. I don't like mince pies, so I won't be eating those. Ugh. Christmas pudding. Ugh. Revolting. I don't feel the need to be forced to do anything. But let's all be happy. Enjoy whatever makes you happy. I enjoy having a gin and tonic or a glass of whiskey. I don't need to be told what to do. Garden Room says, I did years of faking it. Well, I hope you don't have to fake it anymore. Nicola Crompton says we should give some money to a homeless charity. Well, that would be a nice thing to do. Daniel Wildgoose normally hates Christmas, but this year's feels different. Well, I hope you enjoy it. I do hope, especially those of you with children, it is a wonderful, wonderful thing to spend time with your family and loved ones and friends and whatever else. But why don't you just celebrate your family and loved ones and friends every day of the year? I don't see the point of being different for one day of the year when you don't have to be nice the rest of the time. Either be pleasant all the time or don't bother at all. I just don't get it. I've never ever understood this concept of being forced into doing something. Look, it's entirely up to whoever you are. Enjoy your life whatever way you want. I will do exactly the same. So there we go. I don't feel the need for nostalgia for one day of the year or 2 days of the year, because now some of you are throwing in a Boxing Day. Nana Mouse asks, how long will Rishi last? Well, it looks like he could be hanging on till November, maybe. But you never know. Not even a day is a long time in politics now. He won't be gone before Christmas, I could assure you of that, because these lazy MPs are all going on holiday. So you'll have to wait till the new year now. Farage the Garage is still in the jungle, so he won't be coming back to cause a bit of trouble. I don't think his impact is going to be particularly great, but we will see. We don't know what is coming next, do we? So wait and see. Let's see what happens. So, do I like shortbread? Asks Nicole. I'm not really into biscuits, but now and again, occasionally a piece of shortbread is not a bad thing. I do prefer gin, but there we go. No, mince pies. Ugh, no, don't like those. They're like glorified Eccles cakes. I can't stand either thing. I don't like fly pies, as I call them. Disgusting. Not for me, but if you like them, that's perfectly wonderful. Nicole says mince pies are rank. I agree. Mario loves shortbread with a nice coffee. I do not drink coffee. I think coffee is appalling also. I hate the smell of coffee. Makes me feel sick. Revolting. I like Yorkshire tea and I like gin. There we go. Montecute loves the German Christmas markets. I'm not really into those either. Rum-laced mince pies. I'd rather vomit. That sounds disgusting. The Nottingham Christmas market is the best, says Daniel. Well, I hope you enjoy it. I'm sure it's wonderful for you to take your children to, so please enjoy it. Bambi likes Charbonnel Walker Violet Creams. That sounds appalling. I know who Charbonnel Walker is, but no, Violet Creams, no, too sweet, revolting. If you could have a ferret when you were little, what would you have called it? I don't know what I would have called it. No idea. I don't know who I'd have named it after. Probably some tyrant that I admired. I cannot think. I'll have to think about that one. That's one for another day. You'll have to ask me the same question again on another occasion, and by which time I will have thought of an answer. Do you like goose fat? Yes, that's perfectly good for roast potatoes. Very useful for cooking. I may be cooking a roast chicken tomorrow. I was meant to cook it today, but my guests failed to arrive, so I didn't bother. I would not have called the ferret Fergie. No, Fergie is not a name for a ferret. No, thank you. Ivan the Terrible. No, that's not the name for a ferret. I did know somebody who had a vodka brand called Ivan the Terrible. I said it was a terrible name for a vodka, even in spite of the historical context, because you should never call a product terrible, because it's never going to go down well, and it's no wonder that Ivan the Terrible vodka was never a great hit. No surprises there. Rose Badam misses the grandpa's chicken fat, the best. Well, that's probably very nice too, but the goose fat is definitely the best way forward, in my view. Right. Gage Allen says yummy vodka. I don't know whether that's a brand or whether you just you like vodka, but there we go. Chantal likes wine, water, and tea. Well, fair enough. Right. So, anyway, the Downing Street plotters are allegedly up to no good, and that is not surprising. So, anyway, my other topic, before we move on to our quiz, we've already been going 41 minutes. My goodness me. My next topic, in fact, is this presidential candidate, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., is now looking even more stupid because yet more photographs have emerged of him with Jeffrey Epstein. He claimed previously he'd flown once on the billionaire Jeffrey Epstein pedophile plane, the Lolita Express. Then he had to admit it was twice. Then he tried to blame his second wife, Mary Richardson, who subsequently hanged herself, and said, she was something to do with Ghislaine Maxwell. And then now it appears he is now in yet another photograph taken by the lovely photographer, who is a lovely man who I've known for many, many years, Daphne Jones, of him in the same photograph. So this man wants to be president of America, but he is already admitting he has told many porky pies. He is a complete liar. Yes, Kevin Hentz suggests I should call the ferret Lady Victoria. Well, she does seem to have a rather all over the place mind, and yes, there's been lots of stories about her and her sister today, and allegedly her sister's husband being a wife beater, according to Richard Eaton. Now, I don't know whether that's true or not, but anyway, Lady Victoria likes to stick her oar in on many matters, and the last time I saw Lady Victoria in a restaurant, Colbert, in Sloane Square, she had all sorts of opinions to share. Well, I don't know quite what her sticking the oar in is all about on this occasion, but she does seem to like getting herself in the newspaper. I don't know how much she was paid for her story today, but Lady Victoria is perfectly polite in reality, but I think she's perfectly bonkers otherwise. Let's be honest, she's off the scale crazy. And I don't need to hear any more of her nonsense about that. But I don't think I would have named a ferret after Lady Victoria Harvey, but I don't think I'd want to look at it, to be frank. But there we go. I don't think she and I will ever be good friends, no. So, this RFK has yet again been made a bit of a fool of. So, there we go. It looks like Ghislaine is continuing to meddle from outside the prison. Now, my final little topic for the evening is San Francisco. Now, I love San Francisco. I've spent a lot of time there over the years. Not recently, but it was a place where I spent time in the very best neighborhood, Pacific Heights mostly, and now a home in a neighboring district, Russian Hill, a 5-bedroom, 10,000 square foot house. Well, it was put on the market in 2018 for 25 million. It sold for 20 million to this man in January 2020, and now it's just sold for 10 million. This is an indicator of the decline of San Francisco. San Francisco, 2626 Larkin Street, San Francisco, CA 94109, is collapsing in price. This man spent a fortune on additions to it, but he sold it for half the price he paid for it, even in spite of he even spent more on the additions. So this place is going downhill. It's a very sad state of affairs that San Francisco is just collapsing. The homelessness, the drug addicts. Now, to contradict me, one of my followers wrote to me and gave their opinion. I drove around San Francisco last week, says Mark Ellison. I'd heard all the rumors about the city being out of control and ruined. Downtown was great and the tourist spots I visited were lovely. Well, I never visited tourist spots. I always went to nice restaurants, but there we go. We decided to drive through an area called the Tenderloin. Well, I wouldn't be going there even when I went there. It was a dump. And for several blocks are open drug use, selling of drugs, prostitution, homelessness, and a general undesirable area for most of us, on a scale I've not seen anywhere else. One block past and it goes nice again, with the upscale hotels and restaurants. Well, from what I gather, most of them are closing down. There's a lot of closures of very good places in San Francisco. I'd recommend people visit, say, SF, but just read up on where not to go. Good advice when visiting anywhere, which is a sensible sentiment. So Mr. Ellison is not incorrect in this regard. To avoid going is akin to not visiting central London because there's a bad area in Lambeth or whatever. Better plan altogether, though, is to come to Tennessee. I don't have any plan to go to Tennessee. I don't have any plan to go to Lambeth. No, I think it's very sad that San Francisco is losing many of the wonderful restaurants. Lots of beautiful places that I used to go to have closed down, and lots of the big hotels and department stores have closed down. It is a very, very sad thing, but the people I know who live there, they have told me they think the place has gone south and it's a dump, and they're all trying to get out of there. And, this man put his house up for sale for $20 million, and he got $10 million. And this was in 3 years. The price is halved in 3 years. That is not the sign of a good city. So, this homeless zombie city is becoming a mess. And for all that tech boom that was supposedly going to make it the best place on the planet, it's all gone very wrong. It's all a bit like doomsday there. So I'm very, very sad for the good people of San Francisco. So anyway, I should pour myself a little bit more of this liquid, and then we shall try a different quiz book. I have some water in this glass to keep me going, and thankfully chilled from the fridge. So I have a new quiz book, which I shan't be telling you what it is, because the ones that want to cheat, they won't know what it is. So it's a different quiz book. Someone kindly sent this to me today. And we start with a very relevant question. Harriet is ready and willing. Debbie McGee is going to get a big cheers from me. Tanqueray and Bombay Sapphire are both types of what liquor? Is the first question. The winner is Montecute with gin. Well done to Montecute. Montecute gets the point. It's a very relevant question. Question 2. In fashion, what formal men's jackets and pants? See, this is an American book. It was sent from America. Ensemble gets its name from a city north of Manhattan. We don't say pants in England, but the winner with tuxedo is Pip Field. We don't say pants, we might say trousers. But this is allegedly the weakest link, America. Sorry, I've given the name of the book away. Which actress portrayed the woman whose sister was her daughter in Roman Polanski's Chinatown? Well, I think you will know that I can't stand Roman Polanski, a vile person who should be apprehended. What is the name of the actress? It is not Jessica Lange, and it's not Mia Farrow, and it's not Tess. No, it's not Mia Farrow. Yet again, it's not Angela Lansbury or Cilla Black, and it's certainly not Sharon Tate. It's certainly not Anthea Swinger or Anthea Turner. It's not Demi Moore. Oh dear, you're not doing very well with this question. It's not Marilyn Monroe, but Louisa gets the point with Faye Dunaway. As Anne Robinson would say, I urge you, eject the idiot. That is something, according to the back of this book, is said when people consistently give the wrong answer. Lauren admits, I am the weakest link. Well, Lauren, at least you're admitting it. A little more than most here who come out with absolutely stupid answers. But there we go. Right. Question number 4. In Olympic sports, how many innings make up a standard regulation softball game? It is not 6, it's not 4. It's not 9, it's not 12. It's not 2, it's not 5. It's not 10, it's not 27, it's not 5. It's not 3, it's not 11. Doc Martens gets the point with 7. Well done to Doc Martens. Doc Martens is the winner. Winner, winner, chicken dinner for you. Right, similar to sucrose, what milk sugar is produced by nursing mothers? Bambi Debonair gets the point with lactose. You wonder, says Nicole, if Anne would have known the answers if they weren't in front of her. Annie is a truly brilliant lady. She is not the village idiot, and she knows many things. She certainly wouldn't have known the answer to every question, and nor would I. So we do not admit to being superhuman, but we do know some of these answers that clearly some of you were definitely born in a barn by the bizarre things you answer with. Right, let's try another question, see what other ludicrous laughability we get in response. In the US, what lake west of the Mississippi has the largest surface area? It is not Houston, it's not Michigan, it's not Erie, it is not Michigan, it's not Superior, it's not Loch Ness. That is in Scotland, Doc Savage. You might want to get yourself a map because you've clearly lost the autumn survey. It's not Salt Lake City, but you are getting closer with your reference. I think we can accept SSRI with Salt Lake. It is the Great Salt Lake. So we'll accept SSRI. SSRI gets the point. On the television series Alice, at which restaurant did Alice, Vera, and Flo wait on tables? Well, I certainly couldn't have answered this. I have no idea what this is all about. Kevin Hentz gets the point with Mel's. It was called Mel's Diner, also known just simply as Mel's. So Kevin Hentz is the winner of the point. Well done to Kevin Hentz. Never heard of the program. The coastal redwood is a type of what large conifer tree named for a Cherokee Indian? Montecute wins the point with sequoia. Sequoia. Question 9. What Marxist revolutionary and author of My Life moved to Mexico after being exiled by Stalin? It was not Lenin. Mary T gets it with Trotsky. The answer is Leon Trotsky. Mary T is the winner of the point. What Texas blues guitarist known for Pride and Joy, this is your halfway house, died in a helicopter crash in August 1990? It was not the Pope, no. I don't think he was a Texas blue guitarist, and it wasn't Buddy Holly or Big Bopper. It wasn't John Denver. It was Stevie Ray Vaughan and Jimbo Bananas, a new entrant. I've never heard of Jimbo Bananas. We are going bananas for Jimbo. Well done to Jimbo. You are definitely bananas. Chantal loves the quiz. Well, some people don't love the quiz and have written to tell me how much they hate the quiz. But they are going to be told, go away. Right. What species of bear is depicted on the logo for the World Wildlife Fund? Which species of bear? We need a species. It's not a grizzly, it's not a brown, but Joanne Taylor wins with panda. Joanne Taylor is the winner. Well done to Joanne Taylor. Right. What now defunct New York Satire magazine featured the column Separated at Birth? It wasn't called Mad, and it wasn't called Punch, it wasn't called Viz, it wasn't called Time, it wasn't called Mad, it wasn't called Hello. No, it wasn't called Oi. It wasn't called The New Yorker. It wasn't called George. It wasn't called Heat. It wasn't called Cracked. It wasn't called The Village or The Empire or The New York Times. It wasn't called The Inquirer or The Beano. A Rose Badame gets it with Spy, but there was no exclamation mark. It was just called Spy, but we will accept Rose Badame's answer. Well done to Rose Badame. Located in Malaysia, which twin skyscrapers rank as two of the tallest office buildings in the world? Montecute wins with Petronas. Well done to the Montecute Petronas Towers. Right. Located on Mount Hood in Oregon, the Timberline Lodge was used in which Shelley Duvall horror film? It was not the Petra as Towers. It's nothing to do with Petra Eccleston, a thoroughly revolting person if I've ever come across one. Truly dreadful daughter of a convicted criminal fraudster. The winner with The Shining is Bambi Debonair. Well done to Bambi Debonair. Right, next question. With a total surface area of about 5.4 million square miles, what is the smallest of the world's major oceans? What is the smallest of the world's major oceans? Well, you're not doing very well here. Chili Kareen gets it with Arctic, yes. Can we have an English quiz book tomorrow? This has got a mixture of international questions. Susie Ashenden, we are trying out different quiz books, and this one has questions that relate to all parts of the world. So there you go. This is not an American quiz book. Question 16. First released in 1978, what Milton Bradley electronic game challenged players to repeat a pattern of light and tones? It was not Tetris. Joanne Taylor gets the point with Simon. So here we are, proving that this quiz gets a whole variety of people getting points. Do we have a winner at this stage in the game? We are heading into question 17, but maybe Debbie McGee, Harriet may have an update for us. Is there a leader at this stage in the game? At the stage of question 17, do we have a leader? Harriet. Harriet seems to have gone rather silent. Oh dear. We don't seem to know. Okay, well, I will continue since Harriet is not. Montecute is in the lead. There we go. Thank you, Harriet. Thank you, Debbie McGee. In movies, Sean Penn and Martin Lawrence each starred in films that shared what title? It was not Red, and it wasn't. Well, Paulie nearly gets it, but doesn't get the whole title. So Paulie is not able to win. Louisa gets the point because she says bad boys. Paulie just said bad. So Louisa is the winner on this occasion. We'll let Louisa have the point. Taken from Article 2 of the US Constitution, what is the name of the annual address the President delivers to Congress? The President of the United States of America, that is. And the winner with State of the Union is Montecute. Your penultimate question is, which of the 9 known major planets in our solar system comes last in alphabetical order? Which is the last planet in alphabetical order? The winner with Venus is Pip Field. Well done to Venus. It's certainly not Pluto or Mars or Uranus, no. Or the RC one, as one of you has called it. We can't have that. And your final question, this is the decider, I would imagine. By agreeing to face Jimmy Carter, who became the first incumbent president to publicly debate his challenger. No, it was not Phillip Schofield, no. And it wasn't Reagan, and it wasn't Nixon. And Kevin Hentz gets the point with Ford. Gerald Ford was the person. Cilla Black was never a president of America, and nor was Rolf Harris. So thank you for your input, but I think you may have to go back to your village and reconsider your points. We could ask who is allergic to intelligence, as it says at the back of this book. who's on the road to nowhere, who has continued to be dazed and confused, who has drawn the intellectual short straw. The fact of the matter is that those that answer in this way are clearly crackers. But anyway, it's all been a bit of fun, and we're at 1 minute and 4. And thank you. Montecute has won, followed by Bambi, Kevin Hent, and Pip Field have tied for second place. Well done to you all, and thank you very much for joining in with our lovely quiz. You have all been wonderful, and thank you for your questions on other matters. And I hope you've had a lovely time and a great evening. I hope you all sleep well, and I hope the bed bugs don't bite. And as I will always say, good gardening, good night, and as the late, great Jill Dando always says, don't have nightmares. Take care. Good night. Pip, pip.